a good idea of what you need. Okay, so just use the chat on the right hand side. Tell me your names, the subjects and the levels that you're teaching, the year levels that you're teaching, so that I have a brief idea of what you are doing. Okay. So good afternoon, my name is Alisa. We will be working with Edpuzzle today. This will be very hands-on, fantastic. So if you have other colleagues joining the session, they are more than welcome to attend as well. So you can ask them or you can share the link with them so that they can access, or you can invite them to the call, whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, so feel free to share. All right, so welcome everyone. I see, okay, P1, P7, P6, P7, P1, P2. All right, fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so let's get started. Edpuzzle is a platform that allows you to keep students engaged and motivated. So if you are in class and you are doing an activity with the students, you will be able to make sure that they are following, that they are understanding, that they are listening, either through interactive video content or interactive slides or interactive quizzes, right? We will be focusing on videos, although I will present slides and quizzes as well, right? So you will be able to keep track of the students' progress and the students' work in class and outside of class. So if you want to share certain assignments with the students for them to revise or review or practice at their own pace, you can also do so. So Edpuzzle can be used for in-classroom work and also independent work, right? If you are working with videos, you will be able to keep your students in a safe environment. You will be able to control what they are doing with those videos. You will be able to work with YouTube videos within Edpuzzle and control that they are not tracked for advertising purposes, that the students don't interact with strangers through the comments, that they don't have free access to YouTube, and that they cannot go somewhere else. Okay, that they are within a confined space where you can safely share interactive slides, quizzes, and videos with them. Okay, you will be able to give them feedback, so they will be able to receive immediate feedback. It doesn't matter if they are in class or they are outside of class, it will give them immediate feedback, and you will be able to create beautiful sequences of activities with personalized learning paths. When you identify a group of students that might need some kind of support, you can also create beautiful learning paths for those students. Okay, so let's get started and let's make sure that we are ready to go, right? So the first step that we need to take in order to use Edpuzzle within the school, you will have to create your own teacher accounts, right? So I am going to share the link with everyone on the chat, just in case you haven't had the time to create your own accounts before attending the session. Feel free to just click on the link, and what it will happen is that when you click on the link, it will ask you, are you a teacher? Are you a student? You will say, I am a teacher. Then you need to make sure that you're using the school's email. So one of the emails that you might be using, that might be your academic email. So please make sure that you use that one and avoid using personal emails, because otherwise it won't work if you do so, if you use personal emails. And once you have selected the school's account, it will require that you enter a password and a referral code. You can ignore this part because there is no need to enter a password or a referral code. You can avoid that part. You would just need to click underneath on I agree and then click on create account. All right. So we click on the link, we use the school's account, we say that we are teachers, we avoid the password and the referral code, we click on I agree, and we create the account. The last step is super important, which is to make sure that we open up the inbox from that email and that we find an email that came in from Edpuzzle. The email's subject is verify your email address. It came in from Edpuzzle, and it will allow you to verify your email address. It might be in your spam folder, it might be somewhere else, so please find it, make sure that you click on verify to make sure that the account is properly set up. Okay, So can you let me know in the chat on the right-hand side at the bottom if you have been able to log in, create your own accounts, and if you can log in into Edpuzzle in a new tab so that we can play together with Edpuzzle a little bit from now on, and I can tell you, can you do this, can you do that, so that you can test out everything. So just let me know in the chat, Alisa, I'm good, I have my account, or I have been able to log in, so that I can continue. If anybody needs help, please ask me. I'm happy to help with setting up your own accounts. If you need any help, please let me know, okay? Okay, Fiona. All right, let me see. All right, okay. Okay, so let me solve your issue, Fiona. We'll see it together right now. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to ask you all to log in into Edpuzzle in a new tab, and we are going to focus on seeing if our account has been properly set up, so that we can also help Fiona. Okay. So whenever you log in into Edpuzzle, you are going to see that it would look like this. Let me just log out and log in again. So if you go to edpuzzle.com, you click on login, you say that you are a teacher, you use the school's account to log in, and it should take you into the school's account, okay? Into the Edpuzzle account, all right? So how do I know that I have properly set up my account? First of all, on the right-hand side, there is a little bell. Next to the bell, on the right-hand side, you have a little letter. Just click on the letter. That letter will take you into your own profile if you click on your name. And from your own profile, double check that you're using the correct email, okay? If you're not using the correct email, you can change it down here and change it into the correct email, okay? And then you would have to re-verify the email. You also have to double check that within plan, it says Pro School. Right? If it doesn't, let me know so that I can double check what could be happening and I can grant you access to the license. Okay. Everyone has Pro School, their account. So we access the profile, we click on the name, we click on the profile, and then we click on plan, and it should say Pro. Does it say Pro for everyone? Let me know. You have basic, okay, Sarah has basic. All right, anybody else has basic? Pro, okay, Sarah Hogan. All right, Pro, all right. Fiona, you said you had probably basic as well. It says Pro for you, Fiona? Okay, okay. So if it says Pro for you, you should have the possibility of storing more than 20 videos.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So I was going to say, I have a funny feeling I might have two Edpuzzle accounts.
One might be my Genius.
Yes.
You could. That's probably what is going on. No problem at all. Okay, so Sarah, okay, let me see. Sarah, could you please share your email with me in the chat so that I can set up your account so that it doesn't say basic and it says Pro. So Sarah Hogan, could you please share your email with me on the chat so I can grant you access to the Pro license? Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your help. Give me 1 second and I will give you access to it. All right, let me see where you are. Right, you're here. Fantastic. All right, let me activate it for you. Upgrade. You're good to go. All right. Okay, so you're good to go. If you refresh, it should say Pro. So it should be solved. Anybody else needs help, please let me know and I will be happy to help you out if it doesn't say Pro. All right. Yes, Fiona, you probably have 2 emails associated with it. No problem. All right, so let's get started. Now that we have our accounts properly set up, the next step will be to make sure that anybody else. Okay, Sarah, in order to see if it's Pro or not, let me repeat the process. So once you have logged in, you click on your profile next to the little bell. So if you click on your profile and then you click on your name and last name, you have the profile here, and next to the profile it says plan. If you click on plan, it should say pro. Okay. If it doesn't, just let me know. Right? Good, good. Okay. Let me know, Sarah, if you need help. Okay. Just the profile, and then your name, and then plan should be pro. All good? Okay, fantastic. Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. Fantastic, everyone. All right, so let's get started. In order to get started with this academic year, we need to make sure that everything is properly set up. So there are two things that we need to do before we start creating interactive videos, slides, and quizzes with Edpuzzle. The first step that we need to take is that we need to make sure that all the content that we create for our students is organized in a folder. Right? So we are going to see how to create a folder that will store and will have all the interactive activities for a given classroom or a given subject. All right. So if you go to Edpuzzle, you are going to see that on the left-hand side, you have my content. If you click on my content, you should be able to see that at the top on the left-hand side, it does say add folder. So what we are going to do is click on my content, click on add folder, and we are creating a beautiful folder. Name the folder based on the subject that you are teaching, or if you want to have one folder per level. If you're teaching P6 and P7, you might have one folder for P6 and another one for P7. Or if you have 7 classes, just create folders for all of them. It's up to you. Okay, so whatever it works better for you based on the level or based on the subject, it would be better. Okay, so imagine that I were teaching this. I would just enter P1 and I would say, for example, 2025 and 2026, so that I know that I have the folder for this academic year. Okay, so this is all the content, the interactive content that I will be having and using this academic year for this class, okay, or this level, right? And I click on create and the folder will be ready. So super easy. My content, add folder, we name it based on the level, based on whatever it works for you, and organize it from an organizational point of view, what you want to organize your content based on, what criteria, etc. Right? Okay. This folder will only be visible for you. Nobody else will see the folder. The students will not see the folder. Your colleagues will not see the folder. Okay, so don't worry. This is your own folder where you have your own content. Right? Okay. All right. So once we have created a given folder, a beautiful folder, we are going to make sure that we have the classes ready to be set up, okay, or the classes properly set up and properly organized. In order to create classes for this academic year, we need to make sure that we have beautiful classes for all the groups that we are teaching, and we can assign things to all the groups at the same time or to individual students within each of the groups, etc. There is a fantastic option of assigning content to several groups at once. Another fantastic option that is assigning content to the entire class or to only certain students, which is fantastic because that will allow me to personalize their learning process, to support the students in need, and so on. Okay, so we have our beautiful folder prepared, and now we are going to click on Add New on the left-hand side at the top, and we are going to create a class. Okay, so we click on Add New at the top underneath the Edpuzzle logo, and we are going to create a new class. In terms of classes, we have 2 options, and depending on what we prefer and what we think would be working best, we can choose one option or the other one, right? So we click on Add New, we click on Create or Import Class, and now up here, we are going to create a new class. Here where it says in blue, Create Class, we are going to create it, okay? So 3 clicks, Add New, create or import, create class. Okay, so 3 clicks, add new, create or import, create new class. We can work with classic classes or open classes. There are a few things that are slightly different. I am going to explain both options in detail so that you can choose which one you think would work best for your own context. It's totally up to you to decide if you want to use one or the other. Okay, do I go with classic? Do I go with open? Up to you, right? So let me share what it means to create classes in Edpuzzle. Whenever you create a new class, you are going to see that if you pick or if you select the classic option, the students would have to access the assignments through a username and a password. You can project the link to the assignment, or you can transform the link of that given assignment into a QR code and give them access to that assignment. So they would go to the link, or they would just take a picture of the QR code and they would be in. But in order to access, they need to enter a username and a password. What you would have to do is to create a list of usernames and passwords. You would have to follow the instructions on where to store those usernames and where to store those passwords. You would have to follow the guidelines on so that they are compliant with the Aberdeenshire student guidelines, and only the head teacher and the school administrator would have access to that spreadsheet with your usernames and your passwords. Okay, so Edpuzzle will not know who your students are. The usernames and the passwords could be a combination of letters and numbers. It could be their initials with numbers so that Edpuzzle doesn't identify the students. Okay, Edpuzzle doesn't have access to the usernames and the passwords. Only you and your head teacher or your school administrator would have access to them. Okay, I am going to share on the chat the link that should tell you what it means that you should have access to. Okay, and what you should follow based on the guidelines that you should follow to keep the students protected and the students safe in that sense. Okay, so if I use classic classes, I give the students a link or a QR code, the students access it, and they enter their username and their password, and they can watch a video, they can see slides with questions, they can see a quiz, etc. Okay, if you want the students to access that file in a different way, you could also work with open classes. Open classes are slightly different in the sense that whenever you want to share the assignment with the students, again, you can share the link or you can share the QR code that they can take a picture of, and that would take them into Edpuzzle. And the next step would be entering a nickname. Again, you would have to make a list of those nicknames that could be letters and numbers, that could be animals, colors, whatever it is that works for you. And each student would always have to use the same nickname. Okay, so 2 options. The first option, students have a username and a password, and I know who they are, okay? Because whenever they answer something in Edpuzzle, I can keep track of who has done what, right? And second option, students work with nicknames. If I prepare the nicknames list and I tell them, whenever we work with Edpuzzle, you always use this nickname, we will also be able to keep track of the students' work, right? So 2 options, either I give them the link and they use a username and a password, or I give them the link and they use a nickname. It's totally up to you to decide if you use one or the other. You just need to make sure that the nicknames or the usernames and the passwords are properly stored, protected, and nobody else has access to that file unless you have it only your head teacher or your school administrator. Okay, nobody else would have access to it. Edpuzzle doesn't have access to it. I don't have access to it, etc. Okay, So depending on the option that you want to choose, we are going to create at least one class, and you are going to see how easy it is to share content with the students. By projecting in class, by giving them the QR code or the link, it would allow them to access that file, answer questions, interact with the video, with the slides, with the quiz, etc. Right? All good? Yes? Good, good, good. Let me know if you need help, if you have questions about it. All good. Yes, yes, yes. Fantastic. Yes. Good, good, good. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. All right. So let's get started. Let's create our first class so that everything is super, super, super clear. Let's click on Add New at the top on the left-hand side, and let's create our first class. As I said, it's up to you to decide. Whenever you click on Create Class, you can go with Classic or with Open. If you're working with younger students, the Open one works beautifully. If you're working with slightly older students, the Classic one would work beautifully as well. Okay. So if I go with a Classic one, I would enter the name of my class. So imagine that I am teaching P7. I would have a brief description. It could be the academic year so that I know that my class this is for this academic year. I can enter the year level based on the ages that you have in here. You have all the ages in here. And then you can choose the subject. You can choose the subject, or you can just select general education. Okay? If you're a primary teacher, just select general education, and that would allow you to contain everything. Okay, it doesn't really have an impact on the work that you do in Edpuzzle. If you select a different subject, it's totally fine. All right, so we create a class, we name it, we enter a brief description out of it, we select the year level that we're working with, the subject that we work with, and we select Classic or Open. We set Classic, username and password, Open, nicknames, right? We create the class. Once the class has been created, it will be listed underneath here. So you would just click on it and you would see that you have a beautiful class that has been created, and it wouldn't have anything else next to it. It would just say, this is my class, my P1, my P7, etc. Okay, so I would have my class ready to be used and ready to be working with the students. Okay, super easy to create, etc. Right? So add new, create again. We enter the name, the description, the grade level, the subject. We select Classic or Open, and we create the class. Let me know if you can react at the bottom. Tell me that you have beautifully created one class. I only need you to create one, okay? You don't need to worry if you have 7 classes. You don't need to enter the 7 classes right now. I just need you to be able to create one. It doesn't matter if it's Open or Classic, just pick one and create it. And let me know in the bottom if you can react and tell me, hey, Lisa, good, I'm ready to go, so that we can continue. Okay. Fantastic. Questions? Are we good? Yes? Right. Whenever we work with Edpuzzle, we will be able to create interactive content. Interactive content will be content that could be videos, that could be presentations, or PDFs, and that could be quizzes. Okay. One of the benefits of working with videos in class is that you can use them to motivate the students to learn something new. You can use them to introduce a new topic. You can use them to give them an example of something that you have taught to them or that you have already presented. You can use the videos as well to present a different perspective or a different point of view, or bring a different context into the class. And this is a beautiful option, and it will allow you to play the video, project the video, and have the students interact with the videos individually or in groups. Okay. If you work with slides as well, you can create beautiful slides. The slides could contain pictures, or they could contain some words, or they could contain a summary of their ideas, etc. And those beautiful pictures that you can include within a presentation or a PDF, you can project them in class and have them interact with with that picture on their device. They would comment on the picture. The thing that I like the most about this picture is this, or what I am understanding from it is this idea, or what I am inferring from it is that, etc. So that you can have within your slides a beautiful picture, and that beautiful picture can contain questions that the students can interact with. They can even record their voices and tell you, oh, teacher, what I love the most is this, or what I am surprised by is that, right? You can also use quizzes at different stages within your lesson plan to assess previous knowledge, to activate previous knowledge, so that the students, you can assess what they have understood, or you can assess what they remember at the end as an exit ticket before they leave the class. You can do also a little bit of a competition, and you can add a leaderboard and give them points and tell, okay, let's see who gets the highest number of points based on this quiz. And you can have them all engaged, willing to answer quickly and correctly so that they get more points than anybody else. All right. So we are going to see how to work with videos first, and then we will do a little bit of slides and quizzes. And you let me know if you need me to explain, clarify, etc. Right? Okay. So the first thing that we are going to see within Edpuzzle is how we can obtain videos. The videos may come from different places. I can take my own videos and upload them to the platform. If I want to do so, I just need to click on Add New, and then click on Video, and then click on Upload. So 3 clicks, okay? And I can upload my own recordings. If I have beautiful video tutorials, I can take video tutorials and I can upload them, and I can make them interactive. The benefit of uploading your own videos is that you will obtain high definition videos. You will obtain subtitles in multiple languages if you want to activate them, and you will obtain questions ready to be used for those given videos. The only prerequisite is that those videos need to be at least 3-minute long. So if you upload 3-minute long videos, it will give you suggested questions for that given video. And it will be easier, faster for you to create an interactive activity with that given video because the questions will already be suggested to you, right? So if I go to Add New and I go to videos, I can upload something that I have previously prepared. If I have a PDF, an MP4 file that I can upload, I can take it from here, okay? The second option would be to reuse somebody else's content. So the beautiful part about this is that you can find videos from other teachers that are teaching exactly the same thing as you are, and you can reuse what they have already created, right? So how do I do that? I go to Discover, I use the little house on the left-hand side, and I click up here and I enter the keywords related to what I am teaching to my own students, all right? So Discover, I enter the keywords, and I will have underneath a lot of videos related to that given topic, okay? Whenever I have done that, I can filter the videos that are offered to me based on other criteria. I can filter based on the level, based on the subject, based on the duration of the video, which I would recommend to keep them very short so that they are more effective. Their concentration span will not be as long. So keep them short so that they remember, they understand everything, and so on. Okay. So if you keep it under 5 minutes, it will be better. And then you can also select videos that already contain questions within them. So super easy. I click on the little house, I enter the keywords, I filter short videos and videos that already contain some questions within them. So it would be super easy and super fast for me to assign this beautiful video to my own students. My own students love Peppa Pig, so I am going to select this beautiful Peppa Pig video. If you also want to narrow it down and select based on the country, that will also give you videos based on the curriculum of that given country. Okay, so that could also be a good idea. If I select a given video, I could also copy the video and reuse the video for my own students. Okay, let me see why it doesn't allow me to copy it, right? Okay. So whenever I copy the video will become mine, and I will be able to reuse it. I will be able to assign it to other students in the class and allow them to see this given video. This given video already contains questions within it. So as you can see, the video is ready to be shared with them. So I would only need to make sure that the video can be assigned to my students. So what I did was basically go to Discover, click on the topic or enter the topic or the keywords, filter based on different criteria like duration and videos that already contain questions within them. If I find something that I like underneath the video, I can select and copy. Okay, super easy to do. If I have copied the video will be stored in my own content. If you want to make sure that the video not only is stored in your own content, but also organized in the folder that we created before, we can also do so by selecting the video and moving the video to the folder that we created at the beginning. Okay? So that the video is moved into that given folder. And when I go to my content, I open up my folder and I see the beautiful video already stored, right? So again, Discover, keywords, filters. I select the video underneath. I click on copy, the video is copied, and then I go to my content and I select the given video and I move it to the folder, right? So fairly easy to do. Once I access my own folder, I will be able to see that the video is already stored or has been moved in there, and I would be able to assign it to my own students. So I would be able to click on the video and then click underneath on assign so that I can share it with my own students. Okay, so I select it underneath, I assign it, and I share it with my students. If you have several groups of the same level and you want to do the same work with all of them, you can do so. And you can select several groups down here and say, okay, I'm going to share it with this group, also this group, this other group, etc. So that you are assigning it directly or sharing it with them so that they all have access to that given assignment. And at once, you can do it for them all, okay? Always bear in mind that the start date has to be the date when you are using it. If you are using it inside the classroom, make sure that this is the time and the date when you are using it in class, okay? You may enter a due date, but it's not so relevant, so it's totally up to you, okay? The students can still work on the assignment even if it's after the due date, so no problem at all. It doesn't have a huge impact. From here, I can also select certain students, which is fantastic because I can say, okay, within this group, this person needs something. Within this other group, this person needs something. Within this other group, this person needs something. And I can select within each of the groups who are the students that are going to have access to this given activity. And it can be half of the class. It can be a small group that will be working on a certain project. It could be something or someone or a group of students that are struggling with certain content that are a little bit behind that I need to support. This is fantastic for that purpose because I can decide who is going to work with this assignment, right? I will have the possibility of sharing it with everyone. So by default, I will share it with everyone, but I can also narrow it down for each of the classes that I have and decide only 3, only 4, only this person, etc. Okay. When we click on next, we will have the possibility of giving the students several attempts or several possibilities. So if they don't answer correctly the first time, they would have the option of re-answering. I can prevent skipping so that they watch the entire video without skipping anything. And I can activate the subtitles for those videos, right? When I get to this point, I have 2 options. I can click on share and share this link with them. I can also transform the link into a QR code so that the students just take a picture and it will take them into the assignment directly. Or I can previously invite them to the Edpuzzle class and then share assignments within that Edpuzzle class. It will also depend on whether the students are using devices that are being shared by many people. If they are being shared by many students, my advice would be to go with this option, which is sharing the assignment, so that the person that is completing that assignment is that student and not somebody else. Okay, so this would be a better option. It would still require that they use the username and the password or the nickname to access your own assignments. Okay, again, you can transform the link into a QR code. The students can take a picture and it would allow them to enter username and password or nickname. And that's it. That's all they need to do in order to access the given video. Okay. If you want to project in class, you just launch the live mode. You share the link with them first, and then you launch the live mode. And when you start the live mode, what will happen is that you will see the students joining the class in here. It will tell you, oh, you have launched the live mode and you have 3 students, 4 students, 5 students accessing the assignment. Once the students have accessed the assignment through the link that we have shared with them, we can project the video, we can play the video, we can pause, slow down the speed of the video. We can also activate the captions or the subtitles for the given video if we had used the subtitles or we had activated the subtitles. Okay, so super easy. We select the video that we want to work with from somebody else. We copy the video. Once the video has been copied, we are going to share it with the students. How do we share it with the students? We select the video and we click on assign. We decide who is going to see this video based on the group, and we decide what is going to be like in terms of the settings, and we decide, do I want them to work at their own pace and I give them only the link, or do I want everyone to be working together in class and I do project the video in my projector and I share the link and then I launch the live mode. Okay, so only link, they work at their own pace with their headphones or with whatever we have, or I share the link and then I project using the live mode, right? So it depends on the type of work that you want to do. Let them work at their own pace, or I control everything. I control when the video pauses, when the video is played. Every time that there is a question, it will come up, they answer, they get immediate feedback, etc. Okay, so it's totally up to you to decide if you want to do one or the other. Okay. Questions, comments? Okay, so let's play with it a little bit. Let's copy a video from somebody else so that you can assign it to your fake class and to the practice class that we have created. And you can let me know if you have questions, if you have been able to do it. Remember that we look for the video, we use the filters, we click underneath to make a copy, we go to my content, I open up the video, and then I click on assign. Let me know in the chat, Alisa, I have my video ready and assigned to my group of students when you can. Okay, take some time, take your time. Any questions, please let me know. Remember, we are entering the keywords using the filters. We are selecting the video and copying the video and then assigning it to the students. So take some time to play with it. Let me know if you need help. Okay, Stephanie has done it. Fantastic. Stephanie, thank you for letting me know. No rush, take your time. Super easy to find something good, super easy to copy underneath, and super easy to just select and assign underneath. Once you have clicked on assign, you select your group or your groups if you have several classes. We can even pick the students, or half of the class yes, half of the class no, or something that works beautifully with younger students is working from a cooperative point of view, in the sense that you could allow half of the class to see one video and half of the class to see a different one, so that you can pair them up afterwards in class and they could explain to one another what they have seen. And this works beautifully because they love knowing something that nobody else knows, and they love explaining to one another what they know, becoming experts on something. So this is also a beautiful pedagogical approach, using a jigsaw activity, so where certain groups watch certain things and others watch other things, so that they can then tell the story to one another and use each other's content to create something together. Okay, so this is also a beautiful way of using video for younger students. Are we good? Have we been able to assign it? Let me know in the chat, or you can react underneath. Let me know if you have been able to copy a beautiful video based on the keywords, using the filters, selecting it underneath, clicking on copy, and then clicking on assign underneath. Good, good, good. All right. Take some time to do it. Let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to help. Okay. So what I want you to see is that you can also not only upload your own content or use somebody else's content, but you can also take videos from YouTube, which is something that we always do as teachers, no? Whenever we work with YouTube videos, you have certain risks and things that you need to bear in mind. So if I were to share this video with my students, if I gave them the video the way it is, it would give them ads, external links, interaction with strangers. It would also allow them to watch something else without any of the control, and they might end up doing something completely different, and they would be tracked for advertising purposes. So if the school is preventing that from happening, what we are going to do is that we are going to allow the students to even access those videos, but within a safe space. No ads, no external links, no recommended videos, no interaction with strangers, and no free access to YouTube that might take them somewhere else and we wouldn't be able to control it. Okay? So how do we do it? We are going to open up the YouTube video that I love using for my own class. And whenever you open it up, you copy the URL of the given video. And this time, what we are doing is that instead of entering the keywords up here, we are copy-pasting the video. Okay, we are copy-pasting the address of the URL of the YouTube video that we are going to be working with. Okay, so I click on Discover, and then I come here and I copy-paste the URL. It has to be the YouTube URL of that given video, not the search that we do within YouTube, but a specific video within YouTube, right? So we copy paste it up here and we click on enter. And when we do so, you will be able to see that we have the possibility of shortening down our beautiful video by pulling from both sides. We can also add cuts by clicking on the blue line and adding several cuts. And that way we can shorten it down, but we can also delete parts in between to prevent students from watching certain things that might not be relevant or appropriate for them. So watch my screen, see how I am doing it.
Important fraction. That's the part we're talking. Thing. D. Fraction because we pizza D.
Okay, so every time that you add a link or you click on the blue line, you can add a cut. And every time that you add a cut, you can then move from one side, pull from one side to the other to delete a certain part of the video. Okay, so super easy to edit the video in between. I can remove certain parts in the middle. I can shorten it down from the beginning or the end by just pulling the video from here. Okay. I can also click on reset, go back to the original length of the video, and let's go to the questions. The questions are going to be basically questions that I can embed throughout the video. Whenever you are projecting a video, how do we know? Are they paying attention? Are they listening? Are they understanding? Whenever I share it with them so that they can work on it at their own pace, how do I know? Are they watching it? Are they understanding? Do they remember? I don't know. So in order to be able to know, we can include questions that would allow me to include a couple of comprehension questions, something that allows me to see that they have done it, something that allows me to see that they got it. All right. So in order to be able to do that, let's embed a couple of questions within the video. Right. Whenever you work with Edpuzzle, we said that if you upload the video content to Edpuzzle or the file to Edpuzzle, it will give you the possibility of obtaining suggested questions for that given video, which is very nice because you won't have to create the questions from scratch, right? Whenever you work with YouTube videos, the experience is slightly different in the sense that it will depend on whether this given video has already been used by somebody else. If it has been used by somebody else within Edpuzzle, whenever you get to this point, you can auto-generate the questions, which is very nice because I can just click on the type of questions that I need and the questions are ready to be used. Obviously, I can discard and delete. I can click on them and modify them, edit them based on the student's needs, on my context, etc. But I already have something to work with. So it's not I am starting from scratch. It already helps me save time, right? What happens is that these questions that are offered to you are teachers' questions. So the questions are going to be questions that we have within a bank of questions that teachers have previously created for this given video. Okay, so if the video has been used by somebody else within Edpuzzle, it will suggest the questions because the questions that we are offering to you are coming from teachers' brains, right? If you are the first one using this given video, you might have to create the questions manually, which we can also do whenever the questions are auto-generated or suggested, all right? So we can, even if I have used Teacher Assist to help me out a little bit, I can also click anywhere within the video
1/5.
and I can include a question, okay? So the questions, I can always create them. But if I have the help of Teacher Assist, fantastic, because it will be faster, it will be easier for me, all right, as a teacher. Okay, so let's give it a try. Let's test it out. Let's copy paste a beautiful YouTube video up here. If you don't have one, you can use mine that you have on the chat. But if you have your own, just give it a try, copy paste, click on enter, and just come to questions and play with it a little bit. Let me know if you have questions, if there is anything I can help you with. Questions, comments, please let me know. You have the chat, you can activate your microphones. I'm happy to answer any questions. Let me know if you have been able to copy, paste, click on enter, and then play with Teacher Assist a little bit. Let me know how it goes. Do you have questions? So we copy paste the URL of the given video. We click on enter on the keyboard and we see if we have teacher assist available for us. If not, just play with the questions a little bit. Let me know if it worked for you. Okay, Sarah is ready. Anybody else? Oh, fantastic. 2 more people, Julie and Stephanie. All right. Fiona as well. Fantastic. The other Sarah, how about you? Are you good? Are you still here? Good. Yes, all right, fantastic. Okay, so whenever you are done creating the questions within Edpuzzle, you can click on finish and it will allow you to share the assignment or the video with the students. You can keep it private if it's something that you have uploaded to the platform, so only you and your students see it. If you keep it public, other teachers will be able to reuse your video. So if you're working together in the same school, it would be nice to share videos with one another so that you can reuse each other's videos, right? If you click on assign, you can assign it again to the entire group of students or to only certain students within the class in case it is something that you want to personalize exclusively for that given group of students, which is very nice as well, as I said before. When we click on next, we will be able to prevent skipping, activate the subtitles for the video, and again, we have the same options that we have seen before, which is sharing the video with them through the link or the QR code, or sharing the link and then using the live mode, which is presenting the video in class. Okay. Remember, if you want to use the live mode, first you share the assignment with them. You launch the live mode, they have already accessed the assignment or they already have the access. You launch the live mode, they click on the link and it takes them here. You have full control over how many students have joined, and then you play the video and so on, right? All right, so whenever the students have worked with the video, we have seen that we can upload content, we can take videos from YouTube, or we can recycle content from somebody else. Those videos will always be stored within my own content, and I will be able to select them underneath and click on assign to share them with the students. Okay. Whenever you work with the students, you can also see what they have done so far. So see the analytics by clicking on the class down here. So I click on my class and I see all the videos that I have shared with a certain group of students, and all the videos that I have underneath here are going to tell me what they have done with them. It will tell me what they have done from a group perspective, it will tell me what they have done from a student perspective, and it will tell me what they have done based on the different activities that I have shared with them. That could be slides, quizzes, and videos. Okay. So if we wanted to end up today's session seeing how to create interactive slides, we would be able to also see that from Edpuzzle, we can create beautiful slides and quizzes by clicking on Add New and clicking on the slides. This is a beautiful option if you are working with PDFs or with presentations. It would allow you to import or to take PDFs, and it would allow you to import or to take Google Slides. If you are working with PowerPoints, you would just need to download them as a PDF first, and then upload them to Edpuzzle from your own computer. Okay, so I am going to work with a PDF so that you can see an example and how beautiful it is and how many things you can do with this. Okay, so I take my file from the computer, from Drive, I upload it to Edpuzzle, and this gives you the possibility of selecting. Imagine that you have a beautiful slide with a picture on it, or text and picture, whatever it is that you have and that you want to share with them. You select everything that you want to select to share with your own students, and you would be able to do something that is amazing, which is good scaffolding, making sure that the students are learning out of what they already know. building up on previous knowledge, which basically means that you can combine several slides from several presentations, or you can combine pages from different PDFs. This is my week 2 teaching, so I can take a couple of slides from week 1 to make sure that they remember. And I can do it from here by clicking on Add New. By clicking on Add, I can click on Import, and I can take slides from other places. So I can combine 3 slide decks, or I can combine 3 PDFs, or some slides and some PDFs, right? This is fantastic for scaffolding purposes. Something that I can do is that I can move them around. I can duplicate them also for scaffolding purposes, because I can do a brief recap at the end and see if they remember what we saw at the beginning of the class. And I can also include beautiful questions within the slide deck. I am presenting on the projector. The students are answering questions. I know that they are listening to me, they are understanding, they are following, etc. So this is fantastic if you want to make sure, okay, today we are working with this image, today we are working with this brief text. Let's make sure that the students are listening, paying attention, understanding. I can enter multiple choice questions that can be auto-graded. I would have the possibility of entering up to 6 possible answers, selecting one as correct. Remember, whenever you work with primary students, you can allow them to respond by selecting not only text, but also audio and images. Whenever you work with slides and quizzes in Edpuzzle now, you will have also the possibility of gamifying them, in the sense that you can give the students points and you can give the students a time limit. So you can limit the time that they have to answer a given question, and you can tell them, okay, let's see who answers super quickly and correctly. Let's do a little bit of a competition and see who are placed at the top based on the ones that answered correctly and quickly, and who are placed in the middle, etc. If you don't want to activate the time limit, the points, and the leaderboard, you can deactivate them and just let them work at their own pace, no rush, etc. So depending on your pedagogical goal, you could select one or the other. Okay? Time limit, points, and leaderboard. The points don't affect the grade. They are just for interactivity purposes. Okay? If I want to speed up the process, I don't want to create questions from scratch, I can duplicate them and then move them around, place them after each of the slides, so I can save time. Okay? I can always select the questions and edit them to make sure that they have what I want them to see. And I can also allow them to answer open-ended questions. For primary students, the open-ended questions are fantastic, because as teachers, we can also allow them to record their own voices. So the students would be able to express themselves and tell me, hey, teacher, I haven't fully understood this, or teacher, I don't understand this concept or this idea, I need help with that, or this is my summary, or this is what I learned from today's class. And you can listen to their voices telling you what they learned today. Okay, so this is also a beautiful activity that you can do at the end of the class to ask them, what have you learned today? Okay. You can always name the file, always name it, otherwise it will be harder to retrieve. And you can finish and assign to the students. Again, you can move it to the folder, you can share it with your colleagues, or you can assign it to the students. Right? The beautiful part about the slides is that with the video, you are the one that controls the video, but with the slides, they also have access to the slides. So not only the questions, and they would see the slides on their device, and they would see, oh, the teacher is explaining this. Let's see what the question is going to be about. And then they answer the question. Okay, so it's also nice that they have access to the slide deck as well if you want, right? Again, you can assign, you can select the group, you can project in class, and you can activate the leaderboard and the time limit if you want. And you can have the live mode so that the slides are projected, but also on their devices, or you can just share the assignment and let them work at their own pace. Okay, So there are some slides, interactive slides are really nice in that sense because they will allow you to create interactive activities and keep track of, are they listening, are they understanding, are they paying attention, etc. So super easy, add new slides, upload your files, make them interactive. Okay. Quizzes will be exactly the same idea. So just the quizzes are not associated with a given file. So they are just multiple choice questions, open-ended questions. Again, you have 3 types of interactivities, points, time limit, and leaderboard that you can activate or deactivate depending on your pedagogical goal. So you could have an exit ticket before you leave the class. Let's do a little bit of a competition, an exit ticket. And you launch the quiz, you get them on a leaderboard. They see where they are, if they have been quick, if they have been really fast at answering or really good at answering, or if they need to pay attention, pay closer attention next time, etc. Okay. So this is also a beautiful option, right? Okay, so let me share with you all some resources so that you can reuse these resources afterwards, so that you can go back to everything that we have seen together today. On the chat, you will have, yes, it's very similar to a Kahoot, yes. So there you have the file that I have used to present that you can download and you can reuse to revise and review whenever you need to. Okay, so that you can use that given file to see everything that we have seen together today and keep it there on your own computer, share it with your own colleagues, use it to help somebody else in the school, anything that you need, right? And I am also going to share this little form that will allow you to obtain a beautiful certificate of attendance. So that it proves that you've been here today, you've done an amazing work, and you've worked really hard, and you've attended today's session. Okay, you only need to fill out the form. So just provide your name, your last name, your school's name, and your school's email address. And if you submit it, you will immediately receive a certificate within your email. Okay, so this is fantastic because you can tell your school, hey, I've been there, I've been working on it, I attended this session. All right? All right. Yes, fantastic. I'm glad that it helps. I think having something tangible that you can reuse and go back to and revise, review, and so on is very nice. Yes, I agree with you, Sarah. Yeah. I am that type of learner that I love playing, but I also love taking a look at, I am doing it right. Sometimes it's a little bit like, oh, I am here by myself doing it. I don't know if I'm good. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. I will also stop the recording and I will share the recording with Julia afterwards so that she can